Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. I forgot to add SPYT, QQQT, and USOY to my Defiance versus Roundhill versus Yield Max video, and I keep forgetting. So obviously, I made a thumbnail now specifically for these three in case I forget going forward. So since I forgot, I'm making a separate video for them. Real quick, if you go to the Defiance website and you go under income, under the drop down, you'll see SPYT, USOY, and QQQT. And for whatever reason, QQQY, WDTE, IWMY, those were changed to weekly pay, but USOY, who has a similar strategy, was not. SPYT and QQQT were not either, but again, they're a slightly different strategy than what the others have. But either way, SPYT, USOY, and QQQT are, again, they're covered differently because they're not part of that weekly craziness. So we'll take a look at how they did, and we'll go from there. Because, these are still good investments that are out there. We have to, there's a lot of noise out there in the high yield dividend, the weekly payers, and then there's not much appreciation left over for USOY, SPYT, and QQQT. By the way, where the hell is IWMT? I have no idea. Probably soon though, it'll come out. All right, so let's go to the spreadsheet. Their latest based on their latest distribution, their yield for each fund, SPYT's yield 20.3%. This is as of declaration date. USOY 62%. We'll get into what they paid in a second. And then QQQT 20%. So SPYT and QQQT. Someone asked me, "You're not making estimate videos for these anymore?" I'm like, well, I did it because most of the funds, they were, we never knew what they paid. But SPYT and QQQT, they are going to pay you 20%. So really, you guys don't need me to do that. You can do the calculation yourself, right? Because as we get closer to the declaration date, just take the price of the stock, multiply it by 20%, and then divide it by 12. And therein lies your estimate, which should be pretty damn close, right? And then USOY, obviously, that's the wild card. You don't know what they're going to pay. So that one I could see doing an estimate, but making a whole video for one fund that a lot of people don't even like, not worth it. But anyway, USOY looks like they had a decent distribution. So let's go take a look. All right. So first we'll cover SPYT. They paid 33 cents. All right. So, kind of in line with what they paid the month prior. 33 cents. So we could track this for the whole month because I feel like I haven't really covered this much. So again, their last ex-dividend date was October 1st. So since then, you could see the income per share is in orange, right? So we take that amount and we add it, to the change each day. So the last ex-dividend date, that's when we started. So right off the bat, they lost 18 cents. Then they gained 2, they gained 1, gained 11. So put them at, month to date, negative 4 cents. And then they lost 14 cents one day down to negative 18 cents. Again, rough times, right? But then one day, boom, 20 cents they made on October 8th, which put them in the positive at 2 cents. Couple small days, then they made 11, they made 13, and that boosted them up to 33 cents. That was where the hell's the recovery rate? Oh, it's on the, that was exact 100% recovery rate. If you look at column G, they recovered all of it. So if we stood still right there, great. Unfortunately, we lost a penny, then we lost another penny, then we lost 19 cents, and just like that, we're down to 12 cents. But then we got 14 back, up to 26, and then October 25th, we lost 8 cents, put us down to 18, gained a little more, and then look, oh my God, here, Halloween, what in the hell? We lost 32 freaking cents, 32 cents, what? And then, again, I don't know if this calculation is working right. Income per share, make sure it's working right because it's just doing C210 minus C209. Yeah, so that's the that's with ex-dividend date, then F210 plus D210. Yep. All right, so if we go here, Yeah, so it's doing it. So it's kind of flat. So we lost, well, the day before ex-dividend date, declaration date, we lost 32 cents, put them in a negative 14. And then and that's the end of the month, by the way. That's when we stop calculating. So recovery rate for the end of the month, negative 40%. So we made negative 14 cents for the month for SPYT. And when we say made, we're just talking about the fluctuations in the overall price. Again, we're not tracking the exact income that's being produced. And oddly enough, if you look at the ex-dividend date, it looks like a wash, right? So, they didn't move. Well, they moved the 33 cents, but nothing, as far as outside of that, it didn't move at all, which is unusual. And by the way, total return for SPYT, they are up 9.53% from inception. This does not include DRIP. This is just assuming taking the distribution as cash. So not a great month for SPYT. They lost 14 cents per share. But again, they're still at the $19 range, so that's pretty good. All right, let's talk about USOY. All right, USOY, when was their last distribution? They paid 61 cents on their last distribution, right? So what do we want to do? We want to recover that amount, right? So you start off the bat, you made 15 cents, then they're up to 27, up to 45, made 56, got all the way up to $1.05, right? That's 172% recovery rate. Let me zoom in a little more. Zoom out a little more and then zoom in a little more. Okay, that's good. All right, so where were we? 172% recovery rate. Unfortunately, we lost 32 cents. And then we lost 14 cents. 2 days in a row. 2 bad days. Now we're down to 96% recovery rate. But guess what? We made 34 cents in 1 day. That's just really good. Puts them up to 93 cents month-to-date income. Made 5, lost 4. Lost 51 in 1 day, unfortunately. Then lost 7. Put them down to 36 cents, which is rough. And then it's up and down all around. This is crazy every day. They made 11. They lost 17. They made 12. They made 10. They made a penny. Woohoo! They lost 10 cents. They made 28 cents. Put them up to 71 cents. Again, 116% recovery rate. But look at this. In 1 day, they lost 55 cents. Just like that. Just like that. Sucks. So put them at 16 cents. And then they lost 6 cents. They made 21 and then 22. So they ended the month. Again, we ended on declaration date. They ended the month in the positive 53 cents per share. That's an 86.9% recovery rate. So they almost recovered their full payment from the last ex-dividend date. So that's pretty good. However, their total return sucks still. They're down 2.06%. You do not want to see that. And obviously, their latest distribution was 78 cents. That's a massive payment. That's an increase from their prior payment. So we'll see how this next month goes and, if they recover. Obviously, we have the election coming up. So USOY is going to be, it's a big play right now. It's a risk. It's a risk either way, right? It could go well, it could go bad, or it could just stand still. You never know. Unfortunately, if you look at the price of USOY, they're at $15, man. That's horrible. If we go to the beginning, when we started tracking this, they launched, it looked at 1994. So, again, that's not that great. Because when the hell was the date? It was May 10th they came out. So they're already down $5. So, again, not a great performing fund. I don't know what else to tell you. It just hasn't gone their way. All right, let's take a look at QQQT, another favorite of some. All right, so the prior month's distribution was 32 cents. So let's see if we recovered 32 cents. I mean, it ain't much, right? Right off the freaking bat, we lost 32 cents on that ex-dividend date. So that's not a good start. So, and then from there, we made 6, we made 2, we made 16. Put us at -8. Fine, we're getting there. And then you lose 15 cents and forget it. We're down 23 cents. So, again, not easy. Let's try this again. We made 21. We made 15. All right, we're positive 13 cents month-to-date income as of October 9th. We're heading in the right direction. We lose a penny. Fine. We made 4 cents. We made 11 cents. Now we're up to 27 cents. 84% recovery rate as of October 12th. And then in 1 day, you lose 21 cents. Boom. what the hell? So that puts us at 6 cents for the month. Then we made 2 cents back, but then we lost 4. We made 16, lost 1, made 4, great. And then we lost 28 cents in one day. Now we're in the negative 5 cents month-to-date income. But the next day we made 14 cents, we made 9 cents, we made 19 cents, which put up to 37. We did 100% recovery, 115% recovery rate. And then unfortunately, 2 days in a row of shit, negative 15, negative 45. So in the end, on declaration date, again, from prior ex-dividend date up to the latest, the declaration date that just passed, we lost 23 cents per share. So that's not what we want to see. And, they paid out their latest distribution, they paid out 32 cents. The good news, though, is they made 12 cents on the ex-dividend date. So we're starting this next month, we're up 12 cents. If we look at the total return column, again, QQQT did not launch at a good time, and they're still fighting to get total return positive, but they are not. They just missed it. They are down 0.1%, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a rough outing. So, SPYT seems to be, of these three at least, the clear winner of the group. All right, now we'll go to summary to see overall what's the summary for the month. Again, this is for the November payment. The premium income that's made for SPYT, unfortunately, they didn't make any. They lost 14 cents. So they lost 14 cents and they paid out 33 cents. For USOY, at least they made 53 cents. They paid out a little more, but that's fine. They paid 78 cents. And then QQQT, they lost 23 cents, and then they decided to pay 32. If you look at the prior month, a really good month, SPYT made more than what they paid. So did QQQT, but USOY was in the shitter the prior month. And then the month before that, again, same thing. SPYT, QQQT did really good. They doubled what they paid out. But USOY, not so much. So you can see, obviously, USOY is always kind of opposite of what the heck they're doing, right? So maybe it's a good offset. Maybe it's a good balance to own the two. I don't know. All right, so overall capital gain loss. Again, we're tracking how much we made, minus how much we lost. So in capital, SPYT is down 75 cents. I can't talk anymore. USOY is down 5.58 and QQQT is down $1.42. But of that number, how much was actually paid in distribution? $2.66 for SPYT. Obviously, it's greater than what they went down. USOY paid $5.17, so they paid less than actually what the fund went down, which is not good, right? That's why their total return stinks. And same thing for QQQT, $1.28 they paid out. Again, that's less than what they're down. So if you look at the actual premium income made, which is the difference between those two numbers, SPYT has made $1.91 from inception, at least what I'm showing. USOY, they lost 41 cents, and QQQT, they lost 14 cents. So again, you want your funds to give you positive total return. I know it's a short time frame, but still, we track what's available, and so far, not that great for USOY and QQQT. And then we have this section here. It just shows you kind of like, based on how it's performing, how much do you have to reinvest into the fund, essentially to keep it whole, to keep your high, distribution yields, maintained. SPYT, it's close to almost none, really, because that fund really, if you invest in it and just collect the 20% cash, you'd be okay, because you'd be at the $19 range, right? Now, based on the calculation, though, it does show that you should still reinvest 28% of that, okay? And if you guys are wondering how that's calculated, I can take a look. Even I forget, right? I made these damn formulas. I can't even remember. So G41 divided by G39. G41 is premium income divided by G39. So how much, it's basically calculating how much of the premium, how much did they pay out versus the premium that was made, right? And essentially, SPYT, they paid out $191, I'm sorry, they paid out 266 in distributions, but I'm showing they actually only made $1.91. So that's why you still have to invest money, right? And the other two they're not even positive in premium income, unfortunately. So that's why I'm showing, you have to reinvest essentially all of your investment because they haven't performed well. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Yeah, outside of that, that's pretty much it on this tab. But we can go to the last tab to see, like, are these funds still popular? Are people even buying into them? And I could tell you in a second. So, for the, since I tracked this prior, which I think was last week, SPYT had a change, an increase of 275,000 outstanding shares, or 5.3 million in net assets. USOY had an increase of 50,000 outstanding shares, or $718,000. Well, 718,500. QQQT also interest 25,000 additional outstanding shares. That's an increase of 465,000. So the answer is yes. People are still showing interest in these funds. People are still buying into these funds. But are these funds a good investment for you, right? That's the question. That's the question you have to ask yourself. No one can answer that for you. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you think of SPYT and QQQT, it's really simple, honestly. They're going to pay you 20%. That's it. If 20% is sufficient for you, and you don't want to take necessarily the risk that these others are paying, honestly, I feel like SPYT, in my opinion, is the safest option because, again, it's based on the S&P 500, right? So, 500 of the top companies. You should feel pretty safe about that. Obviously, they do, they do options trading on it, but they do it safely, right? In a manner that they don't essentially limit too much upside. But QQQT, they use the NASDAQ, which is a little more volatile. So it's a little more risk. However, it's good to have, a little exposure in different areas. You could see, again, they launched at a tough time when the NASDAQ kind of dropped immediately. So I think overall, between the two, they're really, really good funds if 20% fits your needs. 20% does not fit my needs. I am a little more aggressive. I strive for 40% minimum, annualized yield. I know it's ridiculous, but again, with options, it's possible. And I do a lot of my own options lately. And, the funds, the ETFs I do invest in, they are a little more aggressive and pay me typically more than the 40%, which is what I need, all right? Because I'm trying to retire early, man. I can't be playing around with 20%. I don't have enough money that 20% is going to be enough for me. That's, if I did, sure. SPYT, I'll live a SPYT, no problem. But again, even like if you talk to the average Joe who knows nothing about investment and you tell them you can earn 20% yield, they'll laugh at you. They'll be like, there's no way, that's a scam. So even saying like 20% to the average person, they don't even think it's possible. And it's really sad, to be honest. So that's why I made this channel. Again, I'm just trying to speak to, the masses, the basic people, which, I'm still one of them. Just trying to educate and teach my way, right? Dumb it down the best I can, and hopefully it helps people out. So if you guys, by the way, if you still enjoy me covering these three funds, and yes, I'll add IWMT when they do launch it. So those 4 funds, when they're available, do you still, would you want this to be like a separate video, or should I just add it to that other video, the dry video we call it, Defiance versus Roundhill versus Yield Max? I don't think it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. I could split it up. It's not a big deal. And if I do split it up, if I keep this separate, what else would you like to see on this comparable, right? Would you like to see, SPYT on this tab, like a similar comparison, month to date income versus the S&P, something like that? Or is that, useless? Because, they're not here to beat the index. We know that, but I don't know if anyone cares necessarily. But either way, guys, just let me know about what you think of this content, if I should still do this. I know you guys still want me to do this. I just need to know if I should just combine it. Not like I remember. Obviously, I forgot again. But if I should combine it or do a separate video, just like I am now, okay? All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again next week. Because yes, this is technically still a weekly video. But yeah, that's all I got. So if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. Any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Later.